Today, we're looking again at what true success is. Where does it start? Where does it lead? And what does it leave you with? So, today, I've got the lovely Lorraine Weselby with me. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to have you. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
Well, my question to you today is, what does success mean to you?
It kind of means two things. So it means helping other people be successful, because you've then been successful if you've helped others. And I think when you help others, then it's a different type of success. So for me, firstly, when I had a fashion design and manufacturing and retail business for 30 years, my success was showing and helping my team be the best that they could be. But I also taught a lot of students. So I helped students pass their exams because they would come to me for a work placement and show them how things really happened in a proper fashion design and manufacturing business. But also my success was in creating outfits for people that help them feel confident, because not everybody feels confident in an outfit. And I had celebrity clients that walked the red carpet, people like J.K. Rowling, who necessarily weren't confident and weren't the kind of people who liked to be in the forefront and dressing up. So the minute you put them in something and listened to what they wanted and created something for them, and that included, I designed wedding dresses as well, and not every bride really likes to be the center of attention. It's just not how people are. So I think the success for me there was in helping people feel confident, helping my team sort of be all that I knew they could be, because they didn't all come in with confidence. And then I think latterly, for over a decade now, with my health and well-being business, helping people look and feel the best that they can feel, because often people go around thinking, I'm just supposed to feel like this, I'm just supposed to look like this. And people that have IBS, gut issues, weight issues, don't know what to do. Maybe they've got skin problems. And if anyone's got a skin problem, I'm always going to suggest something for their gut. But again, that is success to me, helping somebody just feel better. I mean, one of my clients did the most amazing testimonial on how, from using the products, and again, I'm not making any medical claims because we don't, but how her life has changed because she doesn't have that horrible gut and the bloating feeling. She said, for years, I just felt that I always was going to look like I was 5 months pregnant, even though my kids were grown up. And that's one part of the success. But in my global health and well-being business, the success for me that really is, I think, the icing on the cake is helping other people move up the levels of success so that they can have whatever it is their desires are. So for some people, it might be spending more time with family, looking after elderly parents. It might be spending more time with children, giving back to charities. It may be just having time and financial freedom and being able to do things that they never thought they would be able to do. Or for people my age, often it's having the security of some money coming in to help with those pensionable years, because so many people seem to have pensions that haven't performed as well or lost money on investments. So that success can be really how we are making other people feel and how we are helping them in life. And yeah, I think success never really just comes from you getting what you want. And two of my favorite books, one kind of follows the other, is The Go-Giver and The Go-Giver Leader, because they really talk about, to be successful, you have to give, whether that's your time, your energy, your knowledge, or in charitable cases, giving things away. And I always say, if you want to receive, you've got to give. So yeah, I think that kind of sums it up for me.
Yes, absolutely. That there's that phrase, isn't there? It's in giving that you receive. And what I love with that made me sort of really think as well was the other way around, in receiving, that I give in the sense that by allowing myself to receive from somebody, I give them the gift of being able to give. And I find that the two go very much hand in hand. If you're a giver, then learning how to receive from someone else as well can bring a different kind of success feeling in internally, I think. Well, obviously, you've already talked about some of your clients, but what would you say it gives you the biggest joy? Let's look at particularly clients who've started using the Arbonne products, because we're talking about that business. So For clients who perhaps who've never tried anything like that before, and maybe they're a little bit wary because it's not, you know, they look at the price tag rather than the result of it. What would you say was the biggest joy for you with some of those clients?
There was one in particular, a lady who wasn't confident. She worked in hospitality, and you would definitely say she was a serious introvert, and she wanted to lose weight. And I said, why don't you try our 30 Days to Healthy Living, Thrive and Beyond program, which is about eating healthily, the recipes are healthy, and when you eliminate foods on that often cause irritation, like gluten and dairy. And I said, why don't you try it? You've got nothing to lose. And she said, so is it a diet? I said, no. I said, but it addresses weight management. I said, that is what we put it down to. So she did it and she lost some weight. She said, you said it wasn't weight management, it wasn't a diet. I said, no, I said it's weight management because you're managing what you eat. So therefore it manages your weight. So then she set a goal to lose half of her body weight. And I said, well, anything's possible, but don't aim to do it really fast. So I think in the first 7 months, she lost something like 4 stone. It's 7 to 8 months, 4 stone. And then she gradually lost less and less. And what she did was she did our program fully for 2 months back to back. Then she had a month off where she did the 80-20 rule, which was healthily 80% of the time and had 20% naughty treats. Whereas when she was doing it fully, she had no naughty treats. So she continued that on, and she's actually lost over 10 stone and kept it all off. With the encouragement of one of our team, she took up exercise, which she said she would never do because she was embarrassed to do it. And this team member said, look, we can take you somewhere where there'll be no judgment. And that was quite early on. And she said she bought the biggest t-shirt she could find. And she said that her dress size was so big, she could never buy anything in a shop. She had to shop online. And she also said, when I said there was protein in our pack, she says, no, I don't like protein. So I made her up a drink and she said, oh my gosh, that is delicious. Right, okay, I'll try it. She said she tried every protein on the market. She said so much so, some of them were so bad, she'd rather be fat and she didn't want to be fat. So, and the other thing she said was that she'd never passed a sweet treat calorie that she didn't fall in love with, because it was just how her body was. And because I said, why don't you go for the chocolate protein? Because if you've got a sweet tooth, you're probably going to prefer that. And I didn't realize she was drinking 16 cups of coffee a day. And coffee gives you a high and then it gives you a big crash. And I said, right, I know we're not going to be able to get you it probably off it all right away, but if you take our B vitamin energy fizz sticks, they'll give you a high and then they'll just give you a slow peter out. So we managed to get her down to about 3 a day. But I said, if it's proper coffee and it's from a coffee bean to cup and it's not a processed coffee, it's not as bad as the other. So anyway, I knew we'd never totally get her off it, but there was one, we put her to the challenge. It was 1 week we did, because she ordered the coffee flavored protein. And she has gone on to write a book and it's in its final stages, back and forth to the editor. And I think she's settled on the title, I Lost a Whole Person. And that is coming from someone who had so little confidence. In fact, I, as a gift, booked through a friend that's a photographer, a photo shoot for her and helped her pick some outfits, and she couldn't believe how she looked. So I think that for me was just to see this very non-confident introvert person who couldn't look at you in the eye when you were speaking to her, to now be able to buy dresses. I mean, I got the day I got a message, Lorraine, I've just bought a size 10 dress. And she was just jumping up and down for joy. And she said, and also she said, thanks to the encouragement of the team, she said she took up cycling and walking, and she's just finished running a 10K when she never, ever exercised ever. She said that she just wasn't built to exercise at all. And she's gone on and for charity run a 10K. So, that, and again, I'm not making any medical claims. Results are different for everyone, but she did it over a 3-year period. And I always say, if someone instantly loses stones really fast, the chances are they're going to put it back on. But what we do is, with the recipes and everything, we teach people the tools to go forward, because there's no point saying, right, this is what you do for a month and then saying goodbye, here you go. So we give them the recipes. We've got an app, the Thrive app, and on it, it's run by a couple of doctors on our teams, a nutritionist, personal trainer, and a mindset coach. And on there, they can have mindset things, and it's all free. The minute they buy 3 or more items in our nutrition range, they get that app free for life, and they can ask questions on it, and they've got the support of other people doing that program, so they can keep dipping back to it. You know, and I've got someone who wants to lose weight for their 60th birthday in October. They've got a lot of medical challenges, and with that, a lot of medication, and they also have a very slow metabolism. And so when I'm cooking things, I send pictures. So if I'm making Thai green curry, which is healthy and it's not got anything in it that would be detrimental to your weight loss, I'll send a video. And then I've got 3 friends having cancer treatment just now, and I made them up little protein amaze balls with protein and cacao powder and some organic nut butter, and I mixed it all together. And I know they like dates, so I chopped up some medjool dates and wrapped coconut. And so I made them some healthy treats, but that was also giving them some protein, because you need protein to repair. And that's the thing, I think a lot of people don't quite get right, their protein intake. To simplify it, you could say it's a gram of protein per kilo, but it's actually more. It's actually somewhere between 1.2 and 1.8 grams of protein per kilo that you weigh. So if you think that an egg, depending on the quality, will have 6 to 8 grams of protein, and a chicken breast, again, depending on the size and quality, 20 to 30 grams of protein, and a can of chickpeas, you know, in a regular size can, 6 grams of protein. And then our protein powder will have 20 to 24 grams, 20 vitamins and minerals. So I know if I drink 2 of those a day and I have several eggs and maybe a chicken breast or an alternative and some other vegetables and things, I know that I am just about the amount that I need. I always try and aim for about 85 grams of protein in a day. And I think also for women who think, oh, you know, protein's a bulking thing, we don't have whey, soy, or any of those horrible things that you don't want in your protein. It can help. And my personal trainer is always saying, for osteoporosis, women need to do weights, and they don't need to be heavy weights. But, you know, even during lockdown, I filled bottles of water, like the kind of tall bottles of water. I filled them with water when they were empty, and I used them for my workout, you know, so and lifting them up, or even a couple of bags of shopping. It doesn't have to be that you're in the gym with weights, but if you do weights and you make sure you've got good muscle and you need good protein for a good muscle, that makes a huge difference to your overall health. And the other thing, like I've had cancer and I've got a titanium hip and I've had hip replacement. You need protein to repair. And I kept being asked throughout things that have happened in my life, how did you repair so fast? What have you done? And I said, I listened to my personal trainer and the nutritionists that I work with, and I upped my protein. And it has definitely worked for me. Again, results are different for everyone, but I think as many women as I can help, and especially during menopause, I have a lot of people much younger than me that are going through menopause, and I say ditch the regular tea and coffee because it sends you on the boil. Go for one of our Energy Fizz sticks, eat healthy, try where possible, and do some exercise and cool at the end of the night. I always recommend either our Clean Tox tea or the Dream Sleep tea to help people sleep. And I say, even if you have it cool, and try and wear natural fibers, because I don't just give tips on things to do with my business clothing. I say, if you wear man-made fibers, you're going to be more hot and sweatier, especially when you want to keep cool. So a cotton or a silk or a fine natural wool. There's so many things that we can do to absolutely help. And we always say, isn't it, let food be thy medicine, or medicine will become your food. I think that was Socrates said that.
No, it's a very powerful thing to remember. And I think probably many people listening might feel like that themselves. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, well, I could do with a bit of that, or perhaps you've been somebody that's been back and forth to the various kind of weight loss clubs and so on, without mentioning any names. But you've been back and forth, you've rejoined countless times. Where could somebody get in touch with you, Lorraine? Somebody like that who's really just come to the end of their tether. They've tried so many times to get themselves fit and healthy and to enjoy their body. Where could they find you or someone that could help them?
So either myself, so Lorraine Weselby, and I am the only Weselby you're going to find, or there might be the odd relative, but they'll be related to me. So yeah, Weselby. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, but Keely, who's also part of my success team, Keely Woolley, and she's also on here. Reach out to Keely as well. I just adore Keely. And Keely has the biggest heart. Keely 100% will bust a gut to help you. She sucks up information and knowledge like no one else I know. So yeah, absolutely. Either of us, just reach out because we'd be delighted to help. And again, results aren't different for everyone. And sometimes people take a bit longer and sometimes people need a little bit of an adjustment. But what I would say, if you're on here and you're either menopausal or you're thinking, I'd like to lose a bit of weight, or maybe you're going on holiday or you've got a special occasion, we have a new, very small, easy program with 3 products. It's called the 7-Day Fresh Start. And it's really easy because it includes intermittent fasting. So you've got an 8-hour eating window, a 16-hour fasting window, and that uses up the fat. But you can't just think, right, I'm just going to go and do intermittent fasting. If you don't do it properly, you can end up worse than you started. So this has a very high grade matcha tea. It has an Omni-Gut tablet that helps your gut knit together, repair, and work more effectively. And it has a high-packed golden protein with turmeric and avocado oil, and it tastes delicious. I mix mine up with a little bit of banana and coconut water, and I just wish I could have had more. And it's for 7 days, and it will basically kickstart your body, and then you can go on to whatever program you want to go on. And we've seen so many people say that their skin's been glowing, they've had more energy. One woman had really bad endometriosis, and she said, my symptoms were so much better. And I said, we can't say that we cure that because we don't, but if it helps you, probably just eating healthier. And we advise people to eat healthy in those 7 days and preferably ditch gluten, dairy, and alcohol and regular tea and coffee. And that will absolutely kickstart your body. And I always, whenever we have a new program, I always immediately do it so that I can be authentic and say to people, like, and I'm being honest, if you're watching this, you'll know the matcha tea. I've got one client who's so in love with it. We've had to ask Arborn if they can just bring it out on its own. And she loved it hot. Well, I'm telling you this, if I'm allowed to swear, I bloody well hated it in every shape hot. However, I poured it into a glass, added some more water, put some ice and a big squeeze of lime, and then I absolutely loved it. So when people reach out to me and say, I don't like the taste of this or that, and I say, right, try it this way. And then people come back and say, oh my gosh, wow, I loved it like that, because we all have different taste buds. So Donna, if you ever see this, you're the one who loved the matcha tea so much. So I had a few spare and I stuck them in the post to her, because we just are all different. We go into a restaurant and one person will order one dish and the rest of us all look and think, tripe and onions, you're loving that, you can keep it. I'm going to have a chicken Caesar salad or something. So we're just all different.
Yes, yeah, that's absolutely true, isn't it? And I think the wonderful thing about what you're doing in the company as well is that you do have a personal consultant who takes notice. Keely, you've mentioned, Keely, it happens to be mine, and yes, she will definitely be looking out for, well, what might Angela like? What could possibly be good for her, or what hasn't she tried yet that she might enjoy? Or if I mention something, so I'm feeling like this, then she'll go away and have a look. So I think that goes with those, other people in the company too. So, well, we'll be sharing this. We'll be sharing Lorraine's details. I'll share Keely's details as well. So do get in touch and, reach out and talk, and don't stay in the place that you are today if you want to be in somewhere different.
I say something
Because,
extra. We're a
yeah,
B corporation. We're the highest ranking B corporation in the beauty industry, and we're one of the highest ranking B Corps in the world. And so we're vegan certified, cruelty-free certified, halal, kosher certified, sports informed certified. And, we give back to the planet and the people in equal measure. So, when companies are buying from us, they know they're doing good in the world.
Yes. Well, there you go. Even better. Even better. Well, we've taken a bit more than 3 minutes, Lorraine. So if you're watching this, I'll probably look at the title in the back of my background and think, that's a bit long, isn't it? But never mind. There's loads of useful tips in there. So don't stay stuck. Reach out and succeed in places perhaps you've never been able to yet. Thanks very much, Lorraine.
Thank you.